Welcome back to Kenzo Gaming and welcome to the epic battle involving 6,000 soldiers and over 500 APCs and infantry vehicles where Deutsche Demokratische Republik fights against Bundesrepublik Deutschland. You might have seen this scene already in part 1 of the video, this is part 2. I'm going to show it just for a quick second so we can see the advancing of the Panzergrenadiere, Heimatschützen and Marder 1. And on the opposite side of the city we can see Wachregiment, Motorschützen, BMP-2 and BTR-70. Now these guys with the caps are the Wachregiment. As we look across the whole city, we can see a lot of vehicles and a lot of infantry. The infantry is moving in streams into the city. And we can hear fighting from everywhere. Now if you look from this other side, we can see some RPG fire. These are Heimatschützen firing across the street. Now even though their RPG is pretty old, with large numbers of RPGs they can take down everything. Fortunately there is many of them. And even though there are a lot of explosions and a lot of smoke, you cannot see where the BMPs are. If you had an RPG you would probably fire in the general direction as well. We can see some explosions in the background, so they must be hitting something. Now you might have noticed that they're moving slower than in a regular game. This is because I had to slow down the game, otherwise I would not be able to provide a high quality video for you. And the recording software obviously is using up some CPU as well, so that's not helping. That's why they are running slower than usual. So here we see some Panzergrenadiere with Heimatschützen. The guys with the helmets are obviously the Panzergrenadiere and the guys without helmets are the Heimatschützen. Now here we can see a lot of units. The vehicles seem to get gotten stuck a little bit. And they're moving back. A large number of RPGs being fired at them might have scared them a little, so they'll probably wait until some infantry arrives there. While on this other side, on this flank, they're pushing into the street, and maybe you can see that actually they're turned with their back to the enemy. This is of course very unfortunate because they're going to get shot in their rears, where the armor isn't that strong, it's not that thick. So that's probably not a good strategy. And we can see a lot of RPGs being fired. Now we have another BMP-2 here, and this BMP-2 is positioned rather well because right in front of it we can see Marder 1, which have been pushing forward while the BMP-2s were retreating. Now this BMP-2 got a really nice side shot, and the Marder has been destroyed. It's blown up. Yeah, it is blown up. While at the same time this is also a very risky position because there are so many Marders that I don't think it would be able to defeat all of them anyway. There is some RPG shot. A round has been fired at the BMP-2, it missed. Now this one has hit it, the BMP-2, really bad, and we can see it's heavily damaged. I don't think it's gonna survive another one. Now it would be a very good time to retreat. But this guy doesn't retreat. No step back, convert, right? So the BMP-2 has been destroyed as well. And here we can see a heavy push. These guys are being pinned down. Well, some vehicles are coming as support. You can see some fire support from pretty far away, beyond the range of the RPGs. They're not gonna hit at such a long range. Oh, actually they're attempting it. Or maybe they have fired at the vehicle which was in front of it. And another RPG has been fired. This was a miss. Another two. And the vehicle is down. So this was the vehicle which was closer to the Wachregiment. The ones at the back might be safe for now. Now we can see on the right bottom of the screen there is one army, and then there is another army which is in the middle of the screen, in the center. They are holding the position. They seem to have gained a lot of ground due to the retreat of the BMP-2 just a couple of minutes ago. But this gain might be only temporary. Now here we have some brave Wachregiment resisting enemy fire. So we can also see from this bird view that on the right hand side the city is being attacked from outside. This means that some Marder and some Panzergrenadiere are trying to push into the city from the side. That area is held by East Germans. Now center seems to be fortified with West Germans. A lot of explosions everywhere. And there is a lot of fire. We can see there is Wachregiment. Let's zoom in on them. Now we can see them firing in the air. What looks like celebratory fire to you is actually some animation bug. If they are panicked, they're shooting into the air instead of shooting at the enemy. But it doesn't matter because the bullets still fly in the direction of the enemy, even though it's not very efficient. However, as the battle progresses, more and more players, well not players, but more and more of the soldiers are going to get panicked and then might be shooting in the air as well. There's more RPG fire, and probably you can see the BMP-2 at the end of the map. Well, not the map, but the city. They're advancing. They're getting closer. They don't seem to be minding the RPG fire, so they're going to try to take the city. Now reinforcements for West Germany have ceased. It might take some time until they receive more. So now could be a good situation, a good opportunity for them, for the East Germans, to take the center of the city. And you can see some Wachregiment got really close. They're already in bayonet range. RPGs are fired at the BMPs, but it didn't seem to be especially accurate. The Heimatschützen might be already panicked at this point. The Wachregiment is using the opportunity to push deeper into the city. Maybe they will even manage to cut off West Germans. We can see one of the guys of the Wachregiment has been killed. And a BMP-2 has exploded. But we have another two pushing right into this place. They're pushing right into the city, running everything over. Although at this point they have exposed their back and their side armor, and they got immediately destroyed. Although there's still one BMP-2 firing their rounds. Also, it's important to know that the Heimatschützen and Panzergrenadiere only have about 6 or 8 RPG rounds. Whoa, suddenly we can see a lot of Wachregiment here. Probably they were in a building, and as they came out from the building, they have appeared here. They are definitely going to mop up these panicked Heimatschützen. Now you can see there is a lot of things here. There are a lot of vehicles which are destroyed here, but still there are a lot of BMPs. And if you look from this side, you can see there is fire practically everywhere in the city. Now this Wachregiment, this is almost like an execution squad. These are 2 squads of Wachregiment flanking the enemy. Let's see if this strategy works out. Now you can see they're outside the city and they're not being fired upon by any Marders. This can mean only one thing: the Marders are destroyed, or they're fighting right now somewhere inside the city. Oh, and in the background we can see some planes approaching. These are East German planes, MiG-29, or maybe MiG-25, dropping bombs at enemy positions. I hope there will not be too many friendly fire kills. Although some collateral damage is definitely gonna happen. Now let's have a look at this area. Here's some Heimatschützen who are pinned down, and a bomb right into them. A direct hit. Let's see if anyone survived. Nope. All of them are dead. Well, this looks very unfortunate. Apparently the bomb was not accurate enough, and one of the bombs flew too far and killed all of the Wachregiment units. Now looking from this side, you can see a lot of fire in the background. Panzergrenadiere fighting against Wachregiment. I don't know why I always want to say Panzerjäger. But we can see here, behind the corner, BMP and Wachregiment fighting, firing. It looks like they're giving an order to fire. We can see the empty cartridges out there flying away. Oh, some artillery firing. That's good. Now if you look closely, you can see that the Wachregiment is sometimes firing into buildings. This means that the West Germans have been panicked so much that they don't dare to get out anymore. So all of them are inside houses now. You can also see that there's also some fire from houses. So they're hiding out within the walls of these houses. So judging by this, the battle is not gonna last long. We can see also a lot of BMP-2 units which are destroyed here, and further back we can see also a lot of Marders and PTR-70. The city is always a death trap to vehicles. And these units are bravely marching near to all these hulls of destroyed vehicles. Now this place which we have seen just now was a deadly trap for Marders. If you remember, this was also where the BMP-2 was getting the side shots. Here we see a couple of Heimatschützen, but they don't seem to still have the will to fight. Oh, there's a machine gunner. Let's have a look at him. Now he survived that explosion. His last comrade has fallen, but he's brave, he doesn't give up. I wonder if he still has any RPGs left. Now he's being fired upon, although it is unclear if this is a machine gun or if it's an autocannon firing at him properly. But actually it looks like a machine gun, so... Now he got hit and he's falling to the ground. His whole squad has been wiped out, including him. Now we can see also a couple soldiers here. They're panicking. Let's have a look at the city. You can see there is now less fire. It seems to me there are about 3 or 4 places where West Germans are still hiding. Now if you look at the background, you can see some rocket artillery being fired. We might be expecting rocket artillery from East Germans, but in this case it's rocket artillery by West Germans. They're probably firing their Lars. So let's have a look where they're falling. These are some reserves of Motorschützen. And the missiles are hitting. And I'm afraid it's going to be very deadly. Now we have speeded up the game. This is the realistic speed. And you can see that even though these rockets are not very powerful, they're deadly in large numbers. I think this barrage has killed over 1,000 soldiers just there. Well, maybe not 1,000, probably closer to 750. Now after this barrage, there is counter-artillery fire, and East Germany has also sent its planes to bomb them, just like they did before. But this time, West Germany has flak panzers arranged, so this might be considered a trap. And here they're coming. They're dropping their bombs. And a couple Lars have exploded. So West Germany had some losses here, but so did East Germany. From the fires we can assume that 7 Lars have been destroyed. Flak Panzer or 2 might have been destroyed as well. And we can see now West Germany sending their planes. Seem to be napalming the area where East Germany had reserves. And East Germany is sending their MiGs. And a plane of West Germans have been shot down. These are MiG-29. Oh, and we can see a flanking maneuver by West Germany. They're flanking with Lux recon vehicle. And now they're encountering some BMP-2 just outside the city. And even planes firing their machine guns at them. We can see artillery fire from far away. And these Lux are now being hunted by both Wachregiment and Motorschützen. Now we can see some RPGs fired from Motorschützen. The flanking maneuver has been repelled. The city is secured. Ein Sieg für die DDR. Special thanks to Commander Def, Jihlavan CZ, means beautiful, who made this possible. Subscribe for more epic videos.